China's expanding naval power in Pacific panics US and Japan. Japan sets record military budget with stealth fighters and missiles. Under the Countering America's Adversaries Through Sanctions Act, CAATSA, which US accepted in August 2017, Turkey faced potential economic, technological, and militaristic sanctions for using S-400 air missile system as part of national defense strategy and policy. Unfortunately, the actors of the old global power system, the United States, the European Union, and NATO, hope that they will get concrete results with the unjust sanctions they have imposed on Turkey, which has proudly 12,000 years old civilization codes and geostrategic leadership in Europe, Asia, and Africa. These unjust sanctions are ineffective measures put forward in the name of the so-called struggle, but never give a continuation. These strategic blind powers had previously imposed such unjust sanctions on Turkey for decades. However, Turkey is stronger than at any time, free from the traps of its adversaries. The United States has deliberately placed Turkey, which has NATO's second most powerful army, as a strategic power multiplier, in the status of hostile countries such as China, Russia, North Korea, and Iran under unjust CAATSA sanctions. But what can the US do without Turkey in the face of China and North Korea's expanding naval and air power in the Pacific? In an order dominated by a multi-center global power system, Turkey, which fought against China together with the United States in the Korean War in 1950 to 1953, unfortunately, does not fight alongside the US in the face of these hostile attitudes, aggressions, and provocations. The United States cannot single-handedly rush to the aid of friendly countries such as South Korea, Taiwan, and Japan by punishing and adversing its staunch allies. It is so sad that Ukraine and Georgia, who relied on the United States, the European Union, and NATO, have been abandoned to their fate, paying very heavy prices. With Turkey's open support in Karabakh, Azerbaijan victoriously ended the 30-year Armenian occupation in Caucasus, which is historically a backyard of Russia. Impressed by this definitive result in the Caucasus, Ukraine is now preparing to liberate the Russian-occupied territories of Donbass and Crimea with modern combat technology and training support from Turkey. But, it is again time to protect South Korea, Taiwan, and Japan from the same fate. For example, Japan is making serious defensive moves, being aware of the imminent and open threat in Pacific. Japan aims to develop an advanced stealth fighter and longer-range missile amid concerns about China's power. Japanese Prime Minister Yoshihide Suga's government approved a 9th consecutive rise in military spending, to fund the development of an advanced stealth fighter and longer-range anti-ship missile to counter China's growing military power. The Ministry of Defense will get a record 5.34 trillion yen, $51.7 billion, for the year starting in April, up 1.1% from this year. With Suga's large majority in Parliament, enactment of the budget is all but certain. Suga is continuing the controversial military expansion pursued by his predecessor, Shinzo Abe, to give Japan's forces new planes, missiles, and aircraft carriers with greater range and potency against potential foes, including neighboring China. Japan's Joint Staff revealed in a tweet that aircraft were scrambled on December 18 in response to a suspected intrusion into its airspace over the Sea of Japan, bordering the Korean Peninsula and Russia, and the Sea of Okhotsk, which borders Russia. Japan is buying longer-range missiles and considering arming and training its military to strike distant land targets in China, North Korea, and other parts of Asia. A planned jet fighter, the first in 3 decades, is expected to cost around $40 billion and be ready in the 2030s. That project, which will be led by Mitsubishi Heavy Industries with help from the U.S. company Lockheed Martin, gets $706 million in the new budget. Japan will spend $323 million to begin the development of a long-range anti-ship missile to defend the Okinawan island chain in its southwest. Other big purchases include $628 million for 6 Lockheed F-35 stealth fighters, including 2 short takeoff and vertical landing, STOFLO, B variants that will operate off a converted helicopter carrier. The military will also get $912 million to build 2 compact warships that can operate with fewer sailors than conventional destroyers, easing pressure on a navy struggling to find recruits in an aging population. Japan also wants 2 new warships to carry powerful new Aegis air and ballistic missile defense radars that have much as 3 times the range of older models. The government has not yet estimated the cost of the plan, which replaces a project cancelled in June to construct 2 ground Aegis ashore stations. Note, if you want to lead people and achieve goals, walk with them, because a corrupter scatters strategic goals.